more complex than the animatronics.
I had a Bjorn. I had babies.
Well, here you go.
Oh,
You put it on.
I don't remember. Okay, so I think it's. Is there a connector over here? Wait. How does this McGeggy over here? Ah, I see.
It's a whole feeling.
It totally is a whole feeling.
It's a whole feeling.
It's also feeling his little hairs on my chin.
Right. Right.
This is a completely tactile experience. Hey, everybody. Adam Savage here from Tested, and I am in Grant Imahara's shop with Lauren Markland, who collaborated with Grant on this beautiful child. Oh my God. He actually vibrates a little, so it feels
like he's, really there.
Like there's something going on. All right, so talk to me about this collaboration. How long? Let's just start at the beginning.
3 months, which is...
That sounds like a crazy short period of time.
It was a crazy 3 months. We got the model from Project 842.
Okay.
And then from there, we, sort of altered it a little bit. We ended up... I know, he does fall asleep. He'll fall asleep in the baby Bjorn. We would work on this and then just be able to be like, aw, because it was so cute.
Right, just like zooming in and zooming out, and zooming in, and so because I can see in your face, like this is your child.
It really is. It was 3 months of sweat and tears. No blood, luckily.
Yeah, good.
Oh, maybe a little bit, but it was a lot of hard work over a short span of time. And it was a lot of new things for both of us.
Interesting.
Grant was really working hard on learning like Maya and working with Rhino and things like that to both make the interior structures and also sort of alter his face a little bit because we wanted to make him a little bit more cute.
Right. And so when we're talking about this, we're talking about a silicone casting that goes over a hard shell under mechanics. And all of this has to be married to within, thousandths of an inch. It is incredibly precise work. I've seen some early 3D prints up there. I see size tests over here.
The scale was actually, I would say, probably the most tested thing that we had done. Yeah, because we wanted to make sure the size was right. So we printed a lot of heads. We printed a lot of cardboard mock-ups.
And did Grant just like hold these mock-ups and...
He did.
Oh, he did? Okay,
yeah,
good.
So we would print one out and paste it on some cardboard, cut it out, and then hold it, and this doesn't feel quite right. And then make it a little bit smaller, not quite right. And then we finally got to the right size, and we did want it to be, holdable or put... Because again, the intention was to bring it to kids' hospitals.
Right.
So, making sure that it had like a little carrier that it could fit in and things like that was really integral.
Can we see some of the boxes of head
sizes
sizes
of course.
here?
And again,
this is a small one.
Yeah, so again, Project 842, I believe, did all of our 3D models.
That's lovely. Really nice and posable.
And so you can see we started pretty small and then eventually... We've got a lot of parts in here.
And this is just a solid print of the whole thing. This isn't taking into account the silicone and the under mechanics. It's just scale testing.
Yep.
The ears are so huge.
They are huge. And those are actually separate pieces as well.
Right.
That are seamed on in the silicone.
I appreciate the commitment to also printing it in the neon green.
Yeah, you know how he is. Everything had to be very particular, and he really wanted to get that effect, even when you looked at just the print,
Okay, so tell me, once you guys decided upon the size, then it's time to design the mechanics to that size and also figure out how the silicone goes.
Right. So he essentially extrapolated a skull from the original model.
Okay.
So that whole thing looks... Like a horror show?
Yes.
You can sort of see some of the pieces here. That's part of the skull.
Oh, wow.
We've got some of the eye mechanisms here for the lids.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It's so pretty. Oh, and this fits in...
I think that's the correct
they might not be from the same model.
There we go.
Yeah. Wow. Right. I know. For some people, this is nightmare fuel. For me, it's just like super pleasurable. I think it's actually
really cute.
Yeah.
He's quite cute with and without skin, which is a weird thing to say, but it really is true, especially when he gets the eyes fully in. It looks like a little gremlin, which I'm into. I love that.
So it sounds like within the 3-month slog of like burning through to get this done, there's also like all these moments of like, I can't believe how cute it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right, so once you've got the underskull and the mechanics and these all sort of are playing well together, there's still the huge problem of getting them to work with silicone.
Yes. So from there, we essentially had a core and a mold. So we did this a lot. We did it with a silicone, a syringe. So we injected everything.
Oh, okay.
So we actually had 3D printed. I don't know if we have any of the cores here. But
3D printed molds.
we did do 3D printed molds.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So you can sort of see on the interior
Wow.
his face here.
And this is SLA. Incredible. So there would be so these two pieces would go together and a core would go inside, and the core is precisely the shape of the mating surfaces for all the mechanics.
Yep.
Oh,
So
what a great! Oh,
and it
look
fits
at
on
that.
the base as well. So we would inject through maybe this way.
Oh, right. So it's really specific. So you'd inject through a port at the bottom.
These four, yes.
Okay. Wow. Oh my God, Lauren, that is brilliant. Is this a process you guys had tried before?
This is the first time Grant and I had tried this process together. So it was very much a learning process.
Yeah.
You know, like I've made a lot of different kinds of molds. Never 3D printed molds is sort of the first foray into that. But yeah, it was the first time for, like I said, it was the first time for a lot of things for both of us. For him, it was more on the 3D printing side, or 3D modeling side, rather.
Yeah.
With Maya and Rhino, and for me, it was and doing molds and things like that.
Yeah.
And doing all of that in a computer because he was so used to doing it physically.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And for me, it was the first time working with silicone and doing hair punching of this scale. You know, casting it with this kind of mold, and then doing the painting and all of 10 hours of hair punching.
10 hours?
Straight.
I mean, his little
10 hours
hairs.
straight.
Oh my God. I mean, the fact that you got to this point in 3 months when it was the first time for both of you trying all these processes is absolutely astounding to me.
Yeah,
it is
thanks.
an incredible achievement.
It was long days, a lot of long days.
I can feel his battery has worn out. I think he's tired.
He does get sleepy. Normally he does. His cycle. He's got one animation cycle right now where he sort of will wake up and then get sleepy. He'll get excited to see you, and then he'll sort of fall asleep again. I know it's a lot to handle.
There's so much love in that arc of like the interaction. I just really dig it.
We had the whole conversation of airbrush use because it's all airbrush silicone. So we used a lot of naphtha to thin it out. Essentially, we use Psycho Paint in different tones, and you kind of have to think of it in translucent layers as opposed to regular painting.
That must change your whole mindset about color, getting the color balance.
It's really reversed. You have to think in sort of filters.
Wow.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of different tones on him. You can see if you look close, he's got a lot of like blue and his wrinkles, and his skin is quite translucent. We wanted to make sure if he has like light coming behind it, you can see through the ears. So it really does feel that sort of like fleshy, cartilaginous structure, you know?
It sounds dumb to say I'm impressed, but like when I tackle a project that's even close to this kind of complexity, I still don't end up doing near the amount of iteration that you guys did. And it's a fully sort of like almost film studio level of iteration that you guys did with all these peaks and the painting tests and everything. And the fact that you did it in 3 months, I'm still a little like, it makes me tired just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Were you also working a full-time job at the time?
No, I was working fully for Grant.
Okay.
So
okay.
a lot of, actually we had met through working here at Vonco, and, it was Grant coming to me after an already long day and saying, hey, do you want to help me build a Darth Vader cowboy hat? He really, I'm so thankful for just everything that we did together. And, one of the things that if I could pass on what he taught me was even if you don't have confidence in yourself, if this is a new thing you're trying, if you're making something, if you're just getting into the industry or just making this as a hobby, believe in yourself because somebody else does. The people that care about you will believe in you no matter what. And that's kind of all you need sometimes.
That's lovely.
A lot of what we did was for other people,
Right.
is to either help them with a performance or make them happy, or BB was for kids and Grogu was for kids, and a lot of that. So much of what we did and so much of what Grant really loved doing was incorporating STEAM, so science, technology, art, robotics, and math to really put a lot of whimsy into people's lives. And that was so important to him through these wonderful creations that we got to make. And I'm like, it still feels like a dream, really.
Yeah.
It still
To have spent the time making these things.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I feel the whimsy even from here, right? Like, it's just, I remember seeing that first video that he put up of this, and I was just absolutely gobsmacked. There's so much emotion and not humanity, personality. Like, on one level, a lot of what we do in film is we make stuff look like it's real, but it's totally the farthest thing from real imaginable. But with the BB-8 and with this guy, you guys really sought to make something that both looked real on camera, but also looked real when you were standing right in front of it and touching it and putting your hands on it. And that's a level that film rarely gets to. And it's a whole nother level of engineering, but I really appreciate the engineering for the experience.
Oh, for sure. Well, we don't have a whole post-production crew to do it for us.
Right.
The plan was to take these things out to see people in person. That experience really has to sell.
Yeah.
And incorporating all of the things tactile, make sure the programming is just so subtle that you get that like sort of slow fall back asleep and like a puppy, when you see a puppy that's too tired, its head is a little bit too heavy and it falls over. Like
it takes my guard goes down watching this child do that, and then I'm just like, I'm along for the ride. It's an actual thing in the room. Okay, Lauren, it's so beautiful. The paint job is so subtle, and I can't even tell you guys how cute these little hands feel. It's a masterpiece.
Thank you.
I can't believe you let me wear this. Thank you so much.
It feels great, right?
This feels great.